Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Man in the Wild. Just checking out this video of this governor who up in Connecticut who tried to attribute um what is a toddler strangulation to the COVID-19. And as it stands and as it goes, the doers of bullshit always have a way of overplaying their hand. You just have to, be willing to see that that's what just happened. You understand? And this is definitely one of those type of moments. And so this is the interview where he was asked a question, and he passed the buck real quick and tried to clean it up, but ended up messing it up a little bit more. So we're gonna check this out and I guess see where they go with it.
And how the baby died, if the baby possibly died of other causes and was also COVID positive?
Want to speak to that, Adrian? Yeah. Well, first off, cause of death is determined by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, and that is their task. Public health surveillance is very different. Our purpose is to try to identify people who test positive for COVID-19 so that we can implement control measures. So anyone who tests positive, contacts of that person need to be in quarantine. So our definition, what we're counting at the State Health Department, is different than what the medical examiner counts. I don't know the cause of death of this person that you're talking about, or any of the people, because we don't determine cause of death.
All right, so he's just saying he doesn't know the cause of death of this person or that person, right? This director here of some public health shit, meaning that, any type of death, that gets attributed to this COVID shit ain't even up, like they don't even give a fuck about the cause of death, whenever they say that it's linked with COVID. You do see that, right?
We define laboratory confirmed COVID-19 associated deaths as anyone who has symptoms of COVID-19, test positive on a COVID-19 test before or around the time of death. We do not determine causality.
All right, you just heard that shit. Somebody who, hold on, let me go ahead and let him say
COVID-19 associated, laboratory confirmed COVID-19 associated deaths as.
All right, so he's about to talk about COVID deaths, all right? Deaths associated with the COVID. All right, now mind you, this is a motherfucker that says he don't care about the cause of death. But yet he's about to give us a what do you want to call it? A definition of what they, call an associated death with coronavirus shit? The fuck out of my face, dude.
Anyone who has symptoms of COVID-19, test positive on a COVID-19 test before or around the time of death. We do not determine causality, but that is our determination for public health purposes.
And what they're basically saying right there is whenever they're giving you all of these, death numbers and all this other stuff, I mean, these could be people that have died from, from heart failure. These could be people that have died from cancer, people that have died from the flu, pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just the common flu or the common cold, should I say, are what the symptoms are. Okay. So, I mean, that in and of itself is some bullshit. That in and of itself is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, I just blew my nose, had the runny nose last night. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Might be the Rona. And so it's like, so when you're putting something so simple in the air, as far as like something that could like fatally harm you and all this other shit, like, yo, miss me with that bullshit. And so now you got this motherfucker on here talking, about how all of these numbers and shit that they're giving us, I mean, it's not even really determined that it's the virus that killed the motherfuckers. They're full of shit.
The medical examiner has a totally different job, which is to try to determine causality. And you really need to talk to him about the cause of death. And my understanding is, having worked with all the medical examiners for the past 35 years, determining cause of death is not always easy and can sometimes take weeks to months.
Accurate to
So can sometimes take weeks to months. All right. Determining the cause of death can sometimes take weeks to months. So now we get, all of these videos where, they're trying to tell us that, these, like I said, with these daily tolls, it's the highest in the, so far and all this other shit. Like that confirms that it's some bullshit. So check this one out. Maybe.
The United States reported nearly 2,000 coronavirus deaths on Tuesday, making it the single deadliest day in any country since the outbreak began, as the total number of U.S. deaths nears 13,000.
All right, so first off, they're sitting there trying to tell you that the death toll for the day is 2,000, which we know is some bullshit because there ain't no way that they can come to that conclusion, right? There's no way. And then you even had a doctor who was on there. He was on this little Facebook Live video, from St. Louis, talking about how, first off, he highlighted that that Connecticut governor. Then he was talking about a case down in Louisiana where a damn premature baby, their death got attributed to the COVID. But they was born at 22 weeks or something like that. Full of complete shit. So whenever you got these people putting this type of shit out there, right, that means that something's not right going on behind their back, man. Because like I said, when you're doing bullshit, you overplay your hand. Whenever it's something real, something that's, that's sincere, genuine type of shit going on, it'll be in front of you that is genuine and it's going on. And, you need to prepare yourself for this, prepare yourself for that, right, in this way or that way. But when you got the motherfucking government who only really sustains itself by the way it operates, is by making you a slave and making anyone under it a slave the best way possible, right? Or the medical profession, all these doctors that only get paid when the motherfucker gets sick, right? And needs some type of medicine, some type of treatment all the time. You don't trust these people? And and then y'all want to give me this confirmed number of deaths, right? Shit, the mind goes where it goes and the numbers go where they go, so fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But we got this 3 over here to the left of the comma, and then you got this 11 to the right of the comma giving you a 33. Like, these motherfuckers really don't miss, with all the eyeballs, and what better time, because usually with all these shootings and shit that they do and all of that, it'd be a certain pocket of people paying attention to this and that. But man, they done shut everything the fuck down, man. Everybody's gonna be paying attention to this bullshit, right? Let's stay the fuck away from all of it.
Then experts see signs the outbreak won't be as bad as the worst projections. One computer model that's been used to guide policy is now estimating less deaths. And officials in New York City, the hardest hit area, say ICU...
And then they want to talk about New York City being the hardest hit area. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got peoples that, I got family out there talking to them saying that it ain't shit like what they're trying to say. And that's with every production ass shit that they put on. You know what I'm saying? Because I done been a couple of places where they pulled some fucking psyops and I knew that they were fucking psyops, man. You just know that shit. Like one of the prime examples was one of them videos back on that Parkland shooting down in Florida, where the kids is walking with they, filming the shit. Like, they said it's a shooting here. They lying. Because the kids is there know it's a fucking drill, But shit, as long as it gets put out there in a firm way, by people who are you're supposed to believe, you're considered a conspiracy theorist if you go against them niggas. So it sticks all the time. You know what I'm saying? That Film Your Hospital shit, ain't nobody in these motherfuckers, man. Take that into heavy consideration when it comes to whether or not you choose to believe this shit, and then have your own peace of mind, man, instead of giving these motherfuckers a piece of your mind.
Are way down. The new coronavirus is disproportionately affecting Black communities. A Washington Post analysis found that counties that are primarily Black had triple the infections than communities that are mostly white. In Wisconsin's Milwaukee County, Black people make up 26.
And of course they gonna highlight Milwaukee County, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the home of Sheriff King Coon Clark. You know, ain't nothing but bullshit sprinkled all throughout Milwaukee like that, man. Especially within the production game, because I done did a couple videos with them gas station shootings and shit in Milwaukee. Fucking firecrackers going off on the ground and shit. Some straight production shit. So what better place than to give us some dumbass numbers than, you know what I'm saying, a place of, you know, where the head of the motherfucker is always on CNN on some complete fuck shit. Some complete division shit. Man, see that part.
Of the population, but they account for about 70% of COVID-19 deaths.
You know, and again, when they send it talking about it's contributing to this many percent of the deaths of COVID and shit, remember, these motherfuckers ain't talking about cause of death. They're talking about somebody who died and tested positive for COVID, which means somebody who died and tested positive for having some cold-like symptoms. Fuck out of here.
From Oxford University proves you can't believe everything you read in a tweet. Researchers found about 60% of the already debunked pandemic myths are still on Twitter. About 25% of the misinformation is floating around on Facebook and YouTube.
And it's funny to me always how, you know, the biggest misguiders, misdirectionalists, you know, of this information shit. Like the biggest ones out there try to tell you to be careful on what you know, put into your brain and who you take from and all of that shit. These motherfuckers is trying to tell you that they can have a daily death toll for the COVID shit. You understand? These motherfuckers is the ones telling you that you need to shut everything the fuck down because you're gonna die if you walk around in these streets without a mask on. You know what I'm saying? Without this division causing social distancing shit. Like, I mean, to my knowledge, I mean, how many people, I think it was only 5 though, when it came to the slave codes and shit, how many slaves could, you know, mingle together without it being an illegal assembly, unlawful assembly. You understand? Understand these motherfuckers is overplaying this shit, but, you know, it's enough people buying into it to where, you know, it's definitely, you know, benefiting them in the way that they want, for real, for real. You know, be above that shit and try to stay above that shit, because it's not, you know, it's not really anything you can too much control, you know, but you can control how you feel and how you think and how you proceed through shit. You understand? And then, like I said, you know, just when I seen the shit on the Twitter, this is what really kind of, you know what I'm saying, confirmed it for me, because, you know, you got your little suspicions, you got your thoughts about shit, but I don't really watch shit or pay attention to shit because I need my peace of my mind. You know what I'm saying? I ain't giving these motherfuckers shit except for when it comes to, you know, calling out their bullshit, you know. And then whenever you see that there's enough other people, you know what I'm saying, running that same type of course as you know, it does, you know, bring you kind of back. You know, it brings you kind of back. So, so yeah, man, don't buy into this virus bullshit. Because I was on the fence before, but I'm off of that motherfucker now, man. These motherfuckers is playing games with you. You know what I'm saying? This too shall pass, man. It'll be gone like a motherfucker just as fast as it came. You know, just make sure you protect yourself with your sanity, with your knowledge. You understand? And don't let these motherfuckers execute what they gonna try to after this shit. So yeah, this trying to associate every death, you know what I'm saying, with this COVID and all of that to make sure that you scared and make sure that you do what they want after this shit. And they bullshit is confirmed.